Jessica, where am I?
Ah, you're in University of Phoenix Stadium. Oh, where I learned the meaning of despair, as will you.
Why didn't we just lose to Washington?
There's a reason being in the wild card is the worst position in the NFL playoffs. Hope. Many teams believe they'll make their way to the Super Bowl. You yourself made it there in 2010. You yourself found a way.
Found a way. That sounds like a scheme question. I won't answer it.
Oh, you believe being an underdog is your ally. I was an assistant coach for 34 years.
We're nobody's underdog.
Is that what you tell your precious stockholders? Is that what you tell the people?
You know, I've heard a lot about people saying, you know, you need to get the people in Washington the heck out of Washington, and we, you know, really showed them to it with a lot of, you know, our, you know, the people and the Packers getting the, you know, the mainstream teams out of Washington, and you know, we did a, you know, darn good job, and you know, moved on. You know, it's kind of just like the primary reason that we were able to get there, and just gosh, so, you know, just it's, you know, wow. The insiders, the lamestream, Roger Goodell media, we just really got there so good. Hi, friends.
You know how we got there?
It is an absolute abomination that for so long the Green Bay Packers have relied on their offense to be successful. It is an embarrassment that only now is the defense getting any credit for this team's success.
So Matty believes that the Green Bay Packers are just a terrible team, and I don't even know that. Everybody that I talk to in the division says what wonderful, amazing, beautiful people the Packers are, and I just don't understand why this third-rate loser believed that we would come into Washington and lose, and that is just everything that I just don't understand, and it's just amazing, wonderful people, losers.
Well, look, I mean, to be fair, we believe, well, our offense has been down here. Our defense has been up here. And no longer will the Green Bay Packers be a team with such an equality of offense and defense.
I don't listen to anything you say to me. It just sounds like a bunch of losers, that everything that you say, and just I just really don't understand. I mean, basically, I want to be with winners. He's a third-rate player, and he's something I just don't understand. How you doing, buddy?
Good. We just came out of Washington. Give us some.
Yeah, it was fun. We
won. We fucking won.
Formalities. I am Tommy Burns.
Oh, I'm Matty Day. How do you do?
We are live from Stadium Drive.
Playoff edition. Advancing, survive and prevail.
Yes.
As one Jolius put it. And how about Jolius and that Green Bay Packers defense? Man, they are getting it done.
What was it? What was it when we came into this game where we were just like, okay, we're facing a team that is hot as pancakes on offense, and what were we able to do? I mean, what was some of the funnest thing that we watched? Put no pressure on the guys, Jolius and a couple other guys that maybe some people slept on, or kind of what Where'd you walk away with that game from?
It's a fucking party on defense. This is when it gets fun. When everybody's getting theirs. When you got Nick Perry, who you like forget about for weeks at a time.
Same Mike Neal.
Mike Neal, your boy, getting in there, getting disruptive in the backfield. Man, this was great. I don't know. I mean, if it was just straight up one-on-ones or if they got heavy with the blitz, man, this defensive line tore some shit up this last week.
And at crucial times, because we've talked about, hit and miss and defense and everything, but that third quarter when it was just like, okay, the Redskins can either mount a comeback or we can make a stand, and we, along with the running game, which we'll get to, but we were able to just kind of just put them back in their stock, just push them back a little bit, make things not easy for them, and that's
rattled.
That's what we do. Yeah, I mean, Kirk Cousins was not comfortable. It was fun to watch. Dare I say, fun to watch there for a little bit. These here Green Bay Packers. Those guys setting it up for us to be able to Lacey to Starks. Starks with the touchdown. Starks setting up Lacey. Lacey with the touchdown. Everything going else. It was just, God damn it. It just felt like some old good Green Bay Packers football.
That was a fun game to watch. And if I'm distracted, it's because it is about 1:45 right now, and they are still active over at 1265 Lombardi, right behind
private
us.
fence is still
going back and forth. There's a lot of late night activity there. So if you were wondering if they were busy, if they're doing everything they can to prepare for the Arizona Cardinals, they sure are. In regards to that offense and just the game overall, there is room for improvement. I mean, it was. I don't think that the Packers are going to come away from that game big-headed and overconfident and thinking that they fixed all their problems, because you're right. You know, it started out with that awful stretch into the wind, and the safety. Like, I mean, that was cruddy. But also, even later on in the game, like, supposed to just run out the clock, just grind it out. Eddie fumbles.
Yes. Is that
there's room for improvement. They did not play a perfect game, but they played a damn good game on the road against a hot team, against a quarterback who was on a really good streak at home, and they took care of business, man. And a lot of people counted them out. Not us.
No.
Hell no.
No. But, you know, in a visiting team atmosphere where you are not performing well, and then you're able to do those old things, everybody's like, oh, we saw the Aaron Rodgers of yesteryear, and we saw what these teams were able to do. But there's one thing that I guess I want to touch on with the running game that kind of stood out to me, because it's a numbers thing. But watching what was able to be done with us and where we were able to go, and reason why I'm kind of high on Eddie is because here's how I'm going to break it down. Week 10, Eddie sat out with his groin injury, Week 10 against the Lions. Before that Week 10, Eddie had gotten 308 yards. Since that Week 10 that he sat out with the groin injury, since then, including this playoffs game, he has gotten 513 yards. And it's just like last year, getting hot, getting in your position, getting ready when they want to hand you the ball, getting ready when you're ready to hurt people, because that's what Eddie does, is he hurts people. It's not a fun thing for them, but that's where it kind of wears them down. And you saw, again, it did not happen in the first half, but that second half, if you keep feeding handoffs, that's where it happens. Mike, that looks like a big, you look kind of
Some kind of coach.
howdy. But it's a slow roll, and would rather get hot in the latter half of the season as opposed to the second half season. So,
And that's Eddie. Most years, man.
yes, every
Puts on the snow chains.
Yes.
And grinds.
as much as he hates the cold, which again is another thing, I'd almost like to see it broken down as far as temperature wise. But he's an AZ. I mean, he's gonna be comfortable. He's not gonna be afraid to lay the wood. Not that I'm saying Eddie's scared to lay the wood in the cold, but
No, I think he. I don't think he changes his running style based on temperature, and I think it would hurt like a motherfucker to take Eddie straight on
yes.
in the cold.
Yes.
Man, like watching that awesome Seahawks Vikings game that looked like it sucked to try to tackle anybody in that cold of weather.
And you saw it. I mean, 10-9. It's like free throw
limits
those teams. I mean, really.
We just have a moment and just cheers to the ineptitude of the Minnesota Vikings.
But it's not like Blair didn't score any other points for that team. I mean, the offense did enough for the Vikings for them to win it, for them to win that game.
Did you hear Colin Cowherd chew out that Vikings fan on air? Check it out, man. It's pretty good.
It's good.
Yeah.
We'll maybe post that link.
We'll hit you with a link. Every day after a football game here in Green Bay, the Press-Gazette runs an article from the opposing team's newspaper.
Always a good read.
The Washington Post was the featured. It was in there this week. Good old WAPO, and they all but chalked up the Packers' rather decisive victory to the Packers' playoff experience, which according to this article, the Redskins severely lacked. And as a fan, it wasn't like I went into that game thinking we're going to coast because we've got experience. And, the opposite. I don't know if I ever even really heard much about that theory until the Packers were playing the Steelers in the Super Bowl. And it was like, ooh, the Packers have no Super Bowl experience. The Steelers do. And that means that the Steelers are going to win. Obviously, didn't happen. So I don't know. I think there's stuff to take from it. But I think it's such a game of momentum. And I think you can... I think you can kind of stop the bleeding a little bit if you're down, like the Packers were. I think them being down 11-0, a lesser experienced team would maybe panic a little bit more in that scenario than the Packers did. But I don't think they experienced their way to victory by any stretch. I mean, they were drawing shit up in the dirt just like any team who had just gotten there for the first time.
Well, no, if recent experience has been anything, we would have shot the bed this game
yeah,
like we
for
did the
fucking
entire
prime
time.
Oh, yeah. Boy.
I mean, that is what we... Like, we've heard a bunch of bullshit throughout the entire year, and we've heard why people have given reasons why Jeff Janis and Jared Abbrederis aren't getting the ball.
Jeff Janis is, not really studying on offense.
Okay, that's what you think. I mean, that's what
Jared Abbrederis had that drop, and
that's
in Arizona,
right? Yeah. So that's what everybody's brought up is they're not performing in practice. Obviously, the coaches have to know better.
But where it goes take down, their word for it, man.
Yeah, I do. But there's kind of a long story about some lean, mean white Packers receivers who are trying to make their point known and what's going on and not making them most successful. So I bring a couple dates and everything else to you, which I will bring down. Why haven't they given those guys more time? So here we go. On November 7th on JS Online, Jeff Janis, referring to the coaching staff and his playing time, they're smarter than me, so obviously I think they know what they're doing. November 15th, Aberdare injured by a vicious hit by Clover Gwynn, not to be confused with Grover Dill, another bully, but a very familiar opponent who maybe someone in Green Bay knows. And November 27th, TotalPackers.com, Monty McMahon, Packers coaching staff will not allow Janis to progress. And there is a paraphrase, a quote by him that McCarthy says, yes, we gave him some opportunities and he made some of them. And all these things going on where there's some injuries and there's some coaches holding back and everything. And there are these receivers that want to make themselves known, and fill this position of this, great white hype. But who is in a Packers position with the time, the money, and the motive to hold back some lean, mean, white lightning receivers?
No way.
Who has that sway? Who could talk to Glover Twin? Who could talk to the coaches? Who is another receiver like that whose name starts with a J?
That's fucking no.
Does it not make sense? I want to see Jordy and Janice, or I want to see Janice and Jared make their plays. I want to see them taking things. What is the common denominator after all this skill we've seen everything? Who is the one that wants to hold them back? Who is the one with the most stake on line? Who wants to come back and resume their position and not have these guys come back? Who is the one that can make that happen? Who holds sway over referees, McCarthy, Rodgers, opponents, everything else? Who has that time to make that all work in the background while all of us think it's so stupid?
Stephen Avery?
Oh, shit. No. But he could be. Or Scott Todick or the cops. But Jan, the original Great White Hype,
Fucking
seriously, think about it. Look into it.
You think Jordy Nelson is pulling fucking strings?
Just look at the facts, dude. Seriously, talking God, like it all makes sense. Like the facts are there. Like they left out the evidence. Like,
holy fuck.
yeah. I'm right there with you on Janice and Arabaderas. Like they should be, but what is the one thing holding back? And all these, there are endless articles. JS Online article, another one. Last time in Arizona, second quarter, Jared dropped the ball. He ended up going 1 reception for 5 yards. McCarthy said after the game, well, Jared had some opportunities, had the drop ball on the big play there. And he's just letting him go out. Who whispered that in his ear?
He's fucking pretty fucking involved this year. If you look at an injured player hanging around.
Who doesn't want him there, Matt? Just saying. Take a look at the circumstances. Who's the one player that holds sway and holding these guys back and fits the same prototype? Sorry, these guys just aren't making plays. They're just not doing it there. Maybe next year, Jordy's back. And he's done.
Despicable.
You want more? I got more. I'm just saying. Just think about it.
You already dropped your thing. I mean, it's...
Oh. But I'm sorry. I'm done.
Don't be sorry. You just fucking broke some shit on live from
I know.
Wow. Well, Jordy's just pulling the fucking strings.
Yeah.
Fucking puppet master.
He's got the sway.
Oh my goodness.
He's got
that hot belling money.
Money, motive, and time. Oh, I'm just sitting here on the sidelines. Don't mind me. Everything's going okay. Oh, yeah. Hey, go, guys. Go, teammate. No.
I'm just a farm boy.
Yeah.
I'm just here to
The Kansas
support
Crippler.
my-
Yeah. Seriously.
Wow. I get up every day, milk my cows, and
Don't
fuck over some other white receivers.
Don't mind me.
Man, I'm stunned. I've spent all fucking year pining for Jordy Nelson.
And what does he give us?
That ain't Packer people.
No.
Hey.
I hope it's not true. But I think it is.
Burden of proof's on him now, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
In other coaching news, Ben McAdoo, holy shit, head coach of the Giants. Wow. And he's hiring ex-Packers O coordinator and ex-Miami Dolphins head coach Joe Philbin as his O coordinator.
Wow.
Dang.
Isn't that such a, like, how does that work, with the thing?
That's
and
the McCarthy tree,
top
man. I
and
mean, that's...
under and bringing in
yeah, that's
Philbin
weird.
and-
That'd be really weird. That'd be like putting your dad to bed or something. Nice guys. Nothing on...
Nothing a nice guy that...
Did you hear about the nicest guy?
I thought from my dad, Bob Burns, I always thought Randy Moss was the nicest guy. because he hung out with him on the sidelines and just said he was the genuinely nicest receiver, let alone the nicest guy in the league. But I think he's getting a run for his money.
He really said that about Randy Moss?
We give him shit saying that he said he was the nicest guy he's ever met, but Bob Burns will maintain that just like Randy Moss is a genuinely nice guy. Like I can't remember if he wasn't playing or what it was, but they basically spent the entire game shooting the shit and talking, and said Randy Moss is just kind of a nice guy to talk to. Talked to a lot of assholes, but Randy Moss wasn't one of them.
Wow.
But there is a nicer guy.
There's a nicer guy out there. Story just broke. Who knew? Another wide receiver, though.
Yes. Someone we're playing here in these here playoffs.
Now, we are not telling you this, so we'll go soft on Arizona this Saturday.
We have actually information for just the opposite, which I will get to. But Wall Street Journal article about
Fitz.
Lair
E.
kills
With
kindness. They interviewed Desmond Trufant and Captain Munnerlin. And
the worst name in sports.
I thought it was the coolest name.
Really? I think it's so whack.
Like, but Larry Fitzgerald straight up comes and like, "Hey, how you doing, dog? How's the family, dog? Nice to meet you. No, what's your birthday? Anyway, about the snap?
What's your birthday?
It's all cool.
All right, cool, man.
That's
all
great,
right,
man.
yeah.
It's just like,
Dude, you're killing it this year, man. You're on top of the game, man.
Just say hi to your brother for me.
Oh, yeah, man. Say hi. How's your mom?
She's like, snap, boom, gone. And he lulls you to sleep. He kills you with kindness. He does all that, and it is really kind of a great game plan. I mean, when you step down and make
So
it,
unexpected.
Yes.
So unexpected.
Yes. And so much what you don't see. The Richard Sherman rule. Richard Sherman does not talk shit to Larry Fitzgerald because
Which says
he's
a lot.
Because he's such a nice guy.
That's fucking weird. That's got to be like a significant portion of Richard Sherman's game.
Oh God, yes. And you know that he's laying down the wood. So many of those good corners. Yes. And I'm sorry, I should retract. So many people think Larry Fitzgerald is a good guy, but if you actually go back and look to the facade that he brings up, you will see he is not such a nice guy. And I have gathered some facts why Larry Darnell Fitzgerald Jr. is not such a nice guy. And I will break those down for you.
This is him, not his son.
This is
Junior.
who we're playing.
Okay.
So I want the Packers cornerbacks, secondary, safeties, everything else. When he's talking all nice to you, and I remember when you see that face, when you look at him and he's asking you how things are going and telling you good job, I want you to remember these things, okay? Larry Darnell Fitzgerald Jr. assassinated Archduke Franz Ferdinand, Biggie, Tupac, and killed Colonel Mustard with the lead pipe in the conservatory. Larry Darnell Fitzgerald Jr. broke up the Beatles. He was the one that Carly Simon was singing about in You're So Vain. That was Larry. And he gave up JC for 30 coins. So look at him, and as much as he's playing that nice guy card, remember that because that was Larry.
Done some evil. If there's any stock to put into the whole experience versus non-experience, the tested versus rested, if you will.
Something I've gone back year after year, basically my entire life.
I know. I mean, since we had the 1 seed and sucked like in the playoffs, like I don't know. This would have been a Packers team that I really kind of wish could have gotten that bye just because they were so banged up. But man, I want to look at what I mean. Carson Palmer, even if he's not experienced in the playoffs, dude has been around the fucking block. He's probably just sick of not having like success to hang his hat on. This was a Cardinals team that was 11-5 last year. And he tore his ACL. They had some backup scrubs, and the second string dude even got knocked out. I mean, they were decent even with a third string quarterback. Like that says something about the depth of the team. Bruce Arians coaching. So
They're
this
a
is
good football team.
Yeah, they are. It sucks. I mean, I don't want to say it sucks. If the Packers weren't in the playoffs right now, it would be the easiest choice for me to pull for the Arizona Cardinals. I'm putting basically any other NFC team. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't mind them as a team. I don't mind their players. Like, I mean, Larry Fitzgerald is like a talented fucking dude.
Yeah.
And same
he
with,
is genuinely nice.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's probably genuinely nice when he's not,
doing all
killing
his
JFK.
Yes. But
And Robert. Oh, fuck. That was the future. You killed the future, Larry.
does that make Steve Sable Zapruder?